my god, I can't believe I'm about to say this on the internet! Hello, children. Okay, so, hello. Yes, I know I have not been on the internet for a while. I pretty much like announced I was dropping out of college and then like dropped off the face of, well, YouTube, not the earth, because I've been around. Anyways, yeah, so, I've been really busy lately. I redid like my entire bedroom. You can't like really super tell, but like there's like a bunch of new stuff on the walls, and we ripped up all the carpet because it was covered in like cat pee and nail polish and old like coffee stains. So now there's hardwood floor and there's a lot of stuff, and I was gonna do like a whole vlog of like the process of redoing my room, and then I was editing it and I realized how fucking boring it was. So I'll probably just do like a room tour with like highlights, maybe. I don't know. I'm also currently working on another video which is going to feature my little fur babies. These things right here. What's brackin', bro? How you living? But yeah, that video will hopefully be up by the end of the year. But if not, I don't know. So for now, I figured that it would be a good idea to at least upload one more video before the new year. I was looking back through my old videos trying to figure out what kind of stuff you guys like, and I realized that my story time video for my like psycho roommate has a pretty decent amount of views. So I've seen other YouTubers do stuff where they tell like a bunch of like little mini stories from like when they were younger and stuff. I know Jenna Marbles has done it, and Chamberlain has done it, and like just plenty of other people. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you some really weird stories from my childhood. And my childhood, I mean as early as age 4 up until this past summer, because I'm still really weird. So okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first one is kind of like a two-parter. So I had this babysitter when I was younger. Her name was Michelle. And she was really good to me and my little brother. Like, she used to come over all the time, like even like when my parents were home like for dinner and everything. But my brother and I were little fucking shits, and by my brother and I mean I was a little shit and he was really young, so he used to just like follow in my footsteps. So yeah, so the first time that I think I really gave her like an actual heart attack, like legitimately, was we both ran out the front door and like split and went in opposite directions. And she caught my brother because he was really little. He was like 2 or 3, like he couldn't run that fast yet. But I kept going and she couldn't find me. She puts my brother inside. She's like, shit, what am I gonna do? And so she's like, she puts her brother inside, she starts walking around, she's trying to find me, she can't find me, obviously freaking out. This poor girl, she's maybe like 17, 18, and like, oh my god, she just lost a whole ass child. She walks back inside and I'm just sitting at the kitchen table like, oh, I've been expecting you. She's like, what the fuck? I had literally run around the entire block and looped back into the house when she wasn't looking. What kind of devil child? I think that was probably the worst thing I ever did to her, but like, I just would say lots of smart ass things. Like, for example, I'm allergic to some types of tree nuts, but just to be on the safe side, my mom would avoid most things with nuts. So like, for example, she never used to give us Honey Nut Cheerios. So we were at Michelle's friend Susanna's house, and Susanna was like, do you want a snack? And I saw the Honey Nut Cheerios in the pantry, and since I was such a little rebel, I was like, ooh yeah, give me a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. So she gives me a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios, and then I go up to Michelle with the bowl of cereal in my hand that I asked for, and I went, I think your friend Susanna was trying to kill me because she gave me Honey Nut Cheerios. I highly doubt this girl was paid enough to put up with my shit, honestly. Okay, so the next story happened when I believe I was like 9 years old. I think I was in 4th grade. My sister and I refer to this as the bucket story. And we said that we would take it to the grave with us. So she's gonna kill me for literally putting this out onto the world. But here it is. So I was 9, she was like 5. I'll take full responsibility. It was totally my idea. I don't know what was going through my head, but we were in the laundry room and I see this cleaning bucket and I was like, oh my God, Ari, you know, it would be so funny if like every time we had to pee today, instead of peeing in, you know, the bathroom like a human being, we peed into this bucket and we just like fill the bucket with our pee. Like, it'll just be so funny. Like, I don't know what my plan was. I don't know what I thought we were gonna do with the bucket of pee. I don't know. Like, and it's not like, look, you know what? You do you. What you do behind closed doors. No judgment, okay? Whatever you're into. Personally, I'm not like pleasured by urine, so I don't really know why this idea came to me. But, you know, Ari was 5 and I was like this cool older 4th grader, so of course she like listened to me. She was like, oh yeah, like let's do it. So we each, I think, had peed in the bucket like 2 or 3 times at the end of the day, and then we hear my stepmom pour the bucket of pee into the sink. And yeah, long story short, I was grounded for a week for being the ringleader. She just got her like candy taken away from her or something. I don't know. She was 5. She really didn't do anything wrong. That was all me. I like, honestly, I was that child in school that everyone was like, oh yeah, that's Lena. Like, don't talk to her. Like, she's weird. I mean, like, I'm still that kid, but like, okay, moving on. Next story happened when I was 13 years old in 8th grade. So I was literally the sickest I've ever been in my entire life. Still to this day, have not been sicker than I was at that time. I had the flu, but it wasn't like, there's like 2 or 3 strands of flu. There's like flu A, B, I think there's flu C, but I'm not a doctor, I don't know. But I had the B strand, so I didn't have like the whole like earache and like puking and like all that stuff. It's basically just like the most intense sinus infection you've ever experienced in your life. Like, I just had like the worst headache and I couldn't breathe or smell or taste anything. My nose, there was just like so much snot in my nose that like, okay. So anyways, I was really sick, and I was so sick to the point where like, I think I literally, like, shit you not, hit a fever of like 105 or 106 at one point. And I totally should have gone to the emergency room, but I didn't tell anyone that that's what my temperature was, because I was like, I'm gonna die tonight if my fever's that high, and like, I don't really want to die in a hospital. It's kind of sad. I kind of want to die like here in bed watching That's So Raven. So like, you know, I didn't tell anyone. I'm a really smart kid. I could have literally died. Okay. Like, hyperthermia, hello, nice to meet you. I was really sick, like to the point, like literally one time, like during that week when I was really sick, like I literally had to get my brother to like help walk me down the stairs. Like, I felt like a freaking 89-year-old. Like, I was so weak and tired. So anyways, I'm really drugged up, right? And I'm just like home alone all week, just, you know, dying. And I'm on like all kinds of like fucking Tylenol and Tamiflu and whatever else the doctor had given me, Mucinex, I don't know. Once every other week, we do have a cleaning crew that comes to our house because I'm a privileged white child who lives in Northern Virginia, okay? They're usually all women, but her crew changes constantly. There's just like the one woman whose like business it is, I don't know. So sometimes she has a male that comes with her. I promise that's relevant to the story. You know when you're like really sick like that, like you kind of go from like hot to cold. You'll be like freezing with goosebumps, but you'll be also like sweating. So I was like wrapped up in bed in blankets, but underneath that, all I was wearing was like really tiny little booty shorts and a sports bra because I was hot too. So, you know, when you're sick, you're supposed to drink a lot of fluids, a lot of liquids. Gotta make sure you stay hydrated. That's important. So I ran out of water. So I'm going downstairs to go get more water. And I don't know why. It's not like I didn't hear the cleaning crew. I knew they were there. But for some reason, my mind didn't comprehend, like, you're going out of your room. There are people there. Put on more clothes. So I walk downstairs in practically nothing as a tiny, like, half-assed developed 13-year-old and a 20-something-year-old man is just like in my kitchen cleaning it. And I walked downstairs and I still, when I saw him, didn't like it, like I guess I like forgot I was wearing literally underwear. So like I give him like a little half smile and he's just looking at me like, what the actual fuck? And it took me a second and I was like, oh, I am naked. Okay. Okay. So yeah, needless to say, I actually didn't see him again after that incident. I doubt it was because of that. I don't know, maybe it was. But that's just so unbelievably inappropriate. Like, not only like was like it a strange man and I was in my underwear, but I was a child. And you can't blame him for that because it was my dumbass that just wasn't thinking. So whenever people ask me what my most embarrassing moment is, I always tell them this next story. But I will say that it's not really embarrassing. Like, I actually think it's really funny. And at the time it was still pretty funny. But like, I'm really weird. And I also know that I'm really weird and really stupid and really just quirky, I guess is a good word, right? For like, you know, a normal, poised, collected human being, this would be really embarrassing. I was 15 and I'm hanging out with a group of my friends and it's like a bunch of guys and then there's just like one other girl. What do 15-year-old boys do when they're around two girls? They try to impress them. They try to get them to laugh, whatever. You know, that's just what boy hormones like to accomplish, is impressing the opposite sex. It was working. They were really fucking funny and I was actually ruffling. I was rolling on the floor laughing. I start yelling, I'm gonna pee, I'm gonna pee. I think they thought I was exaggerating. I wasn't. I peed myself, not to the point where it was like I need like new pants, but to the point where like it was semi-noticeable, okay? So I peed myself. I'm still laughing, by the way, at the fact that I just peed my pants. I roll over, hit my nose on the leg of the kitchen table. She might be dying. My nose starts to bleed. And through all of this, finally, I laughed so hard that I got the hiccups. So I am sitting there with pissed pants, a bloody nose, and a case of the hiccups. Yeah. Okay, and then the final story, oh my god, okay. I debated leaving this one out because this is actually really embarrassing. So, I've always had a very sensitive stomach, always. I honestly, I puke a lot and I get stomach aches a lot and it just happens. I get ulcers. Like, I don't really know what's wrong with me. I've seen GI doctors. They're like, you just have a really, really bad stomach. There's no IBS. There's no celiac. You just have a bad stomach. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm supposed to avoid foods with like high acid content, such as like tomatoes or, you know, foods, you know, that are like very like ethnic, but I don't listen. Like, my ass loves me some Mexican. I love Italian, and Italian is literally only like cheese and tomato sauce, which is like just two things that are just so terrible for your bowels. But I don't listen. So I went to Taco Bell, okay? I was having a rough day. It was a moment of weakness. I went to Taco Bell, I bought 3 crunchy tacos, and I devoured them like nobody's business. They help the emotional pain. They fill the empty void. They really do. I ate the 3 tacos, and you know, my stomach's starting to feel a little iffy because that's what happens with me. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to say this on the internet. Oh, okay. I'm laying in bed. I thought that I had to fart. Yeah, I shit my pants. Oh my god, it was traumatizing. I was an 18-year-old girl, and I mean, like, look, it wasn't like a lot, like it was just kind of like a sharp, but like it was bad enough that I had to throw out the underwear. And I called my mom after, literally like in a state of panic, and my mom laughed at me so hard that she started crying. So anyways, on that note, we're gonna end this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share and comment and all of that good stuff. And let me know if you want another one of these. A couple years ago, my family went on a trip to Israel together, and my sister's been begging me to do like that, like some story times from that. That might be its own little mini story time video, so may or may not be uploading that eventually. I also, I'm sure, could think of plenty more of strange stories from when I was a child, and if I can't, I know for a fact that all of the adults in my life can. So, Shadow, do you want to say goodbye? Oh, we're gonna go. I'm gonna stop torturing you. Bye!